Hey guys, Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, and before we get into the video, I want to address something really quickly. So first things first, I'm incredibly sorry that this video is so incredibly late. I realize that we are now 3 full months into 2020, so it's a little bit late for me to be posting this, but hopefully some of you guys will enjoy it anyway. With the current coronavirus pandemic thing going on around the world, I am working from home for the next 2 weeks, so I finally had time to sit down, work on this video, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. As regards to that, I just want to hope that everybody out there who's watching this video and just everybody in general is very safe and stays safe during this situation. It feels like the end of the world, but I know it's not, and I know we can all get through this. So stay safe, enjoy the video, and wash your damn hands. Hello guys, Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, back with you again today for a new video. Today's video is very special, and I know it's incredibly late, but this is my top 10 albums of 2019. Another thing that makes this special is it's the first video from my new apartment. One of the reasons why I'm so late on this video, why it hasn't gone up yet, is because I just moved. And life has been crazy going back to work after the holiday season itself. So it's been a bit of a delay in getting this video out, but I hope you guys enjoy it. I definitely enjoyed putting my list together. Lots of great music that came out this year. So overall, just want to go ahead and get into the list. I hope everything sounds and looks okay. I don't know if this is going to be the background for every video here at the new apartment. It does sound to me like there may be a bit of an echo. It's a large room, so we'll see how everything goes. If you want to leave feedback on that kind of stuff in the comments, that would be awesome as well. So without further ado, let's get into this list. Okay, so kicking things off with the honorable mentions. This year's honorable mention list is pretty small. I only have 2. First of which is Slipknot with We Are Not Your Kind. Relatively small Slipknot fan. I just kind of got into them recently. They are the most extreme kind of metal group that I listen to. I definitely gravitate personally to a more melodic, catchy sound in the music that I go for. So, but from time to time I really enjoy Slipknot, and they're definitely incredible musicians. This album, We Are Not Your Kind, is one of their best in my personal opinion, and definitely wanted to give it a mention here. Honorable mention number 2 is Billie Eilish with When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Incredibly long title. In terms of the popular music scene, Billie Eilish really owned 2019 with her debut album that came out this year. I really loved the record. I'm not a fan of most popular music today, but I think Billie Eilish is a very unique artist, and I really feel like she's an artist and not a musician that's trying to, just cash out, basically. Which I think a lot of the music industry today suffers from that. Just a lot of people wanting to cash out and make money. And I think Billie Eilish is actually an artist, and I think most of her music is really catchy. I love the work that goes into her music videos that are fantastic. So yeah, Billie Eilish definitely deserved an honorable mention. Now we're getting into the actual list, and starting it off with number 10 is Heart Attack Man with Fake Blood. This is a very underrated band, alternative punk rock band from Ohio. I don't know if they're from Cleveland, but I believe they're from Ohio. Another band that I discovered this year. I discovered them in actually a really unique way. In June of this year, I saw a band called Hot Mulligan perform in Chicago, and their lead singer was wearing a Heart Attack Man t-shirt, and that through seeing that and listening to their music that they played before the show actually started, I started listening to them and really loved them. I really loved this record. Incredibly catchy, kind of that modern pop punk sound. Really, really enjoyable record, and definitely recommend it because I know a lot of people don't know about them. So Heart Attack Man, go check them out. Moving on to number 9. My number 9 pick is Trash Bag's self-titled album. This album was produced by Billy Joe Armstrong, which is of course how I discovered it and discovered them. They have a really unique, kind of a throwback early punk sound. To me, it sounds a lot like Iggy Pop and some early punk stuff. They also have some songs that are very melodic, kind of remind me of kind of that Ramones style of punk rock. Different sound from a band like Green Day. You would think with Billy Joe Armstrong producing it, it would have a somewhat similar sound, but it's actually really different from that kind of sound. I still enjoyed it, thought it was a really catchy punk rock album. Really flies through. I think it's only like 20-some minutes long, but again, in a band that hardly anybody seems to talk about and know about, so definitely recommend checking that one out as well. My number 8 pick is Cage the Elephant, Social Cues. So talking about a couple really underground artists, this is big time artists. Cage the Elephant. One of the few alternative rock bands that's still going, that to me still has a unique and interesting sound and is making really damn good music. I think this album is their best in several years. Really catchy, really great lyrics and themes with this record. I believe a lot of the lyrics are about the lead singer's divorce that he just went through in the past year or so. So I really enjoyed that. The lead single off of this, what's it called? I've already forgotten the name of it. Anyway, it was really good, so definitely check that one out. All kinds of great songs, though, littered up and down the track list of this record, so definitely recommended.
2019 is a fucking disaster. Dear Vladimir Putin, stop fucking up my shit, cause I know I can fuck it up faster.
My number 7 pick is Swimmers, Berkeley's on Fire. Swimmers is a band I've been a fan of for several years. I've gone to see them live multiple times. Really enjoyed it every time. They put on a great show. This is their second album as Swimmers. For those who are not familiar with this band, they were originally a pop-punk band called Emily's Army. They put out a couple records as Emily's Army in the early to mid-2010s. And then they switched over to Swimmers, and this is their second album as Swimmers. Swimmers is more of an indie rock inspired, still punk at its core, but kind of a different, more experimental sound. And I gotta be honest, when they put their first single out from this record, Berkeley's on Fire, the title track, I was not a huge fan of it. It's very different. But the album as a whole is very reminiscent of their debut, with a little bit of different kind of experimental sounds in it. But at its core, it's a catchy punk rock album right up my alley, and really enjoyed it. Number 6 is the Cranberries with In the End. The Cranberries, of course, a world-famous alternative band that were very popular in the 90s. Their lead singer, Dolores O'Riordan, passed away last year, I believe. Maybe it's been a couple years now. It's been a little while. But anyway, this is the first and last album released after her death, and the last album for the band as a whole, because they've said they're not going to continue making music. So this album does feature Dolores on vocals, and it's a really haunting record and a difficult record to listen to at times, but it's filled with great songs, really catchy stuff, really thought-provoking stuff, And of course, now that Dolores has passed, if you read a little bit more into the lyrics, they kind of have deeper meanings. I just recently heard that this album was nominated for a Grammy, and while I don't really pay attention to the Grammys because I feel like they don't really reward great music, they reward popular music, this is a great album, and I'm incredibly happy that it's getting the recognition it deserves. So if you happen to have not checked out this record, definitely go check it out. The Cranberries with In the End. My number 5 selection is Thom Yorke with Anima. This is, I believe, the 3rd solo album from the Radiohead frontman. I'm a big Radiohead fan. I'm a big fan of Thom Yorke and his style. It's very, very different from most of what I listen to. Very electronic, experimental, all kinds of unique sounds. But it's really, really good stuff and well-made music. A lot of this album has to do, especially the lyrics, has to do with dreams and interpretation of dreams. So I really, really like that. Also some kind of lyrics of the almost dystopian world it seems like we're living in, politically and culturally and all kinds of stuff. So really, really good lyrics overall. This is a great sounding record. I know it's kind of easy to bag on Radiohead and Thom Yorke because it seems like if Thom Yorke recorded his latest shit, it would be given a 5 out of 5 by critics. But I do think the fact that critics love Radiohead is well deserved because I think they're a great, great band. I think Thom Yorke is a great artist. So anytime he puts something out, I'm going to give it a chance, and usually I enjoy it, as is the case with Anima.
Blessed with a godless mistake. One day you soon will find you're gonna pay for the abomination.
Coming in at number 4 is Sum 41 with Order in Decline. This is their latest record. Sum 41 is one of those pop punk bands that I was super into that came out in the early 2000s with some really great music. Sum 41, though, is a band that hasn't really gone in the poppy direction. They've gone in the hard rock metal direction, and I really, really love it. This is their hardest sounding album to date, in my opinion, and it's loaded with fantastic songs that may be their best songs in years, maybe in a decade. Songs like Death in the Family are fantastic. Kind of a slower moment is Never There, which is Derek Whibley, the lead singer, writing about his absentee father, which is a really emotional song. The song, The New Sensation, is fantastic and catchy. Really good songs, again, littered up and down the track list, as I feel like I'm repeating myself so much, but all these albums are just so fantastic. There's very little different that I can say. Great album, highly recommended, Sum 41. My number 3 selection is Help Us Stranger by the Raconteurs, one of Jack White's many projects. Raconteurs is their comeback album. Hadn't put out a record in 11 years by the time they released this. The song Sunday Driver on this was the first single, or they put out a double single, so one of 2 of the first singles. That song is maybe my favorite song of the entire year. It has one of the best guitar riffs, if not the best guitar riff, in the entire year. It is such an amazing song. So definitely, if you're getting into the Raconteurs, listen to Sunday Driver. Also listen to songs like, what's the other single? I forgot. Now That You're Gone was fantastic. Born and Raised was great as well. The trading off on vocals from Jack and Brendan is great. It's seamless, really catchy blues rock, alternative kind of influence. Really good stuff from the Raconteurs this year.
shit. I hope you're doing fine on your own. 'Cause after everything we've been through.
My number 2 pick is a band that I just very, very recently, I'm talking in December, discovered. And they skyrocketed up my list. And that is Pup, with their album Morbid Stuff. So Pup, spelled P-U-P, is a Canadian punk rock, pop-punk band. And they've been kind of making waves recently in the pop-punk scene. Very new band as well, young band. This album is by far their best. It feels to me kind of like, and I'm not comparing the albums musically, but it kind of gives me the feels of an album like Dookie by Green Day. It feels like a pop-punk anthem type album. Just incredibly catchy songs all throughout, really good lyrics, lots of lyrics about depression and darkness and kind of morbid stuff, as the album title indicates. Really, really good lyrics. The standout tracks for me are the title track, Morbid Stuff, as well as my favorite song on the record, See You at Your Funeral, which is a great great song about a breakup. And then there's the song Scorpion Hill right after that, which is really catchy as well. Another band that, if you're not familiar with the pop-punk scene, is kind of flying under the radar, so please, please, please go check them out. They're absolutely amazing.
I'm your disgrace. I say, kid, just move along. We don't want it, don't need it. Your politics just breed despair. I salute an empty flag of ancient tribalism.
And my number 1 album of 2019 is Bad Religion's Age of Unreason. This, to me, is the album I've been waiting for ever since Donald Trump was elected. This is a great album about the political state of America under Trump. And it's not just about him, which I love. It's more about the kind of anti-intellectualism that's brewing in America. And I mean, the album cover just says it all. The decapitated statue of David sitting in the car just makes an incredible statement. Such an incredibly catchy album. Every Bad Religion album is. They know how to make melodic punk rock, and it is just beautiful to listen to. I absolutely in love with this record. I really like, again, how it's not solely focused on Donald Trump. It's more focused on all of the different kinds of things that are going on in America. I like the different sounding songs. Not every song sounds the same. There's songs like Black Dog, which are really interesting and different. And Lose Your Head is really unique for a Bad Religion song. My favorite song on the record is, it's really hard to pick a favorite. It would either be My Sanity, but I do feel like I've listened to that one too much since it was a single. Another song that I really, really like that I think is underrated is Candidate. I really enjoy that song as well. But anyway, my number 1 record of 2019, Bad Religion, Age of Unreason. Go check it out. That's it. That's my top 10 albums of 2019. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely leave me a like and hit the subscribe button for all the great content I'm going to have in 2020. I can't guarantee how much I'm going to be able to do with, working a full-time job and stuff. Life has kind of been getting in the way for me. When I was in college, I was able to do a lot more videos. Anyway, but I do plan on continuing to do YouTube and talking about movies and music, my 2 passions, and hopefully some of you guys will enjoy watching it. I'd love to hear your guys' lists if I haven't seen your videos or heard your comments already. Definitely talk about, I would love to talk about your favorite albums as well of this year. I think it was a really good year for music. I think 2018 was slightly better, but I think overall this was a really, really good year. So, Happy New Year, everybody. I know I'm late on that, but yeah, hope you guys have an amazing 2020. Have an amazing night, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.